Hi, welcome back to Tyne Valley Motorhomes. I'm Callum and today I'll be handing over a Ford Rock and Roll custom camper. So as we start the walk around on the driver's side of the vehicle first, if you open your driver's door, just on the sticker here, you do have your tyre pressures. So it would be 52.2 psi on the front and 45 psi on the back, which is 3.6 psi on bar on the front even, and 3.1 on the rear. It gives you a tyre size there as well. And then just underneath here, you do have your wastewater pipe. So it's just further back here, just there. That is your wastewater, so you may want to put a bucket or a drum or a waste master under there, because that's just what comes out of your kitchen little sink. You've got your mains connection point here, so to hook the vehicle up, get your hookup lead, lift the collar, slide it onto the vehicle first, then to your power source so that you're never walking around with a live lead in your hand. And then next to it, you've got these two little keys. These are for your fresh water, so you've got a lockable cap. You just pop a hose pipe into there and fill the vehicle with water. I think this tank's about between 20 and 25 litres, this tank of cold water for your fresh water tap from the kitchen. And at the back, if you don't come with tow bars standard, this customer has had a tow bar fitted by Concert Tow Bars, which was arranged by us. You've got your parking distance control, sensors at the back. Storage underneath, obviously there's your diesel heater. You've got a bit of storage so underneath there gets nice and warm. You've got you can put your brace in here, so you've got a winder which winds the spare wheel down, which is underslung underneath the vehicle. And then you do have your gas, which is a 907 bottle it takes, and all you need to do is spin the bottle onto the thread. So spin the bottle as you pop it onto here, and then turn on and off via the red stop at the top, and obviously tie the bottle in with the strap provided. But you don't come with bottles as standard, you have to source your own bottle. And then you do have a bit of storage in here in the top cupboard. Blackout blinds on the back windows, which are just 2 press studs, so you just put them in and that'll black out the windows on an evening. Coming round the passenger side front door, you've got your diesel, which is a capless system, so it just responds to the diesel filler. And then underneath you've got AdBlue. So the AdBlue on this is about, I want to say 12 to 15 litres, and it'll do 5,000 mile on a full tank of AdBlue. At 4,000 mile you'll get a warning just to say it's now time to refill, and you can go and buy it on the pumps or buy it in the drums and top this up, and you just remove the cap and fill with AdBlue. Fill with AdBlue as soon as you can, otherwise the vehicle can go into limp mode if you allow that mileage countdown limit to go to 0. Just here you do have your chassis number, gross vehicle weight being the top one, train weight being the second one, so that's how much you can pull with the tow bar on the back if you're fitting one to yours, and the front and back axle weights. You've got your paint code, your 2 litre 130 brake, transit engine, which it tells you here. Bonnet release is just on the side there, you can't miss it. We'll have a quick look at the bonnet. Screen wash, which is the main one you're going to need, and then you've got your brake fluid. You've got your oil filler and your oil dipstick further back. You've got your coolant, and then you do have positive for giving or receiving a jump start, because on the Transit the engine battery is underneath the driver's seat, so positive for giving or receiving. And then just on this loop here, you'd earth off the engine hoist for giving or receiving a jump start. So to operate your 12 volt control panel, so you've got your master switch in the top left hand corner, so you can turn the vehicle on and off, and you'll see that it's illuminated battery L, which is leisure battery, and if you press it you can view your battery reading of your battery, if you both batteries, leisure battery being battery L, vehicle battery being battery V. But you always want to make sure that the blue light is on battery L, because the leisure battery is designed to run the camper van side of it, so don't have it on battery V, because it'll drain your Ford or VW engine battery, which is not what you want. You've got your pump, so you can turn your pump on should you have enough water on board to operate your cold water tap. So just pressurizes it, and then you do have your lights. You've got a switch here for the lights over there. Twin USB, the bottom one being the quicker charger, being 2.1 amps, the top being 1 amps. Be quite a slow charge, but it'll charge. And then you've got two 230 volt sockets. So to operate your diesel heater, so to wake it up, press once. To start it up, press again. It'll say it's starting, you'll hear it fire up. And then if you go up and down, you've got your temperature, top being 30 degrees. And then you just leave it to it, and it'll fire up and it'll warm up to the temperature set. So we've got it set to 24. Once it starts its combustion, it'll warm the vehicle up to 24 degrees. And then you can either turn it down, turn it off. And that's all you really need to do, really. Turn it on and put the heater on. And then to turn off, you just press. It'll say stop shutting down, and that's the heater turning off. But do make sure that you've got a quarter of a tank of diesel or more in the main tank, because the intake for the engine is a lot lower than the intake for the heater. That's just because if you're parked up and you're running the heater all the time, you're never going to go to start the vehicle and think, oh, I've got no diesel to start. You're still going to have diesel in there because it's lower. But do just make sure that you turn it off before you do start filling the vehicle as well, because otherwise you can cause an airlock. So to operate your rock and roll bed, you've got a handle in the middle of the bed, so you can either, there's two features of this bed, you can either lift it up, and you'll see it's got notches in all the way down, so if you pull it you can, so if you want to relax in the seats, they're not so far up, you've got different settings, so you can actually tilt them down, or you can lift it all the way up and pull the bed down. It just means that if you're sitting on a night, you're not having to sit at 90 degrees, you can pivot and sit, slump back and relax in your sofa in the back, and then lift it, pull it all the way out, you can create your bed. And then you just grab a hold, so pull the seatbelt out, grab a hold, you want to lift it up, slide it back up, and then push the handle down to lock the seat back in place before you travel anyone in the back. You've got your heater duct there so you can hear the heating's on, and you've got some storage which you can get from the back to the front. Again, diesel heaters there, so underneath there gets really warm. And then in the kitchen, you've got your bar for your table, which lives just behind the driver's seat. So push the button and you can fold your leg. That'll clip on there, and then you can just the height. Yes, we can travel with that in if you want. And then underneath it, you've got storage underneath the sink with the gas isolation valve for the hob being the yellow one at the back. Storage in here. Slide out cutlery tray, and then your 12 volt compression fridge. So to work it, you need to press and hold the on button, which is the red one here, and it'll illuminate blue, which means it's on, and it's taking a 12 volt feed from your leisure battery. And then you've got the big snowflake being the coldest setting, and the smaller snowflake being the warmest setting of the fridge, with a little freezer compartment there. But do make sure that you turn your fridge off when you're not using the vehicle. It's parked on the drive, because it will drain off the leisure battery. And then when you're not using it, clean it out, give it a spray down, and then you just want to rest the door. You don't want to shut the door, because if you shut the door, it forms an airtight seal, and smells will start to form in the vehicle, get a feisty smell, and you wonder what it is. It's your fridge, because you've shut the door. On the top, obviously we've shown you the tap working. You've got 2 burner gas hob. Allow it to cool before you put the top down. In the wardrobe in the back, so you've got 2 shelves. This being your EC155 power supply unit. So when your charger lights up, that indicates that you are hooked up. And you've got all your trips to this side. So if you don't think you're receiving 240 volt, you can trip the vehicle out and see if it is your vehicle or if it's the site. And this side, you've got all your 12 volt fuses, which are listed. So do carry some spare 5, 10, 15 and 20 amp fuses, which you can get from your local car factors. And then underneath here, this is where your freshwater tank is there. So you've got a freshwater tank of about 15-20 litres on there. Smoke and carbon monoxide alarm. And then you do have your roller shutter, so you can shut that off with a little storage cupboard this side with a light in it. So to operate the pop-top roof, first of all you've got to pull your bed board down, which is hinged from the back. So when you do home to put it back up, always push up here first. So if you push at the back, you'll then be able to push the front up, as that's how it's hinged. It's not hinged from the front. So you pull that down, and then what you want to do is you want to grab the 2 handles on either side and pull the roof down. But do it with the door open so it releases the pressure, and pull the roof in front to back. So make sure both sides are pulled in, and then you do want to pull the front in. So you want to turn this light off first, pull the front in, and then roll it back. Pop your little strap through here on both sides of the roof. And pull it down, and then you want to keep rolling it back so that it's not hanging out and looking untidy. Pull down, press the catch, slide your strap through, pull it as hard as you can, and then use the access strap to just wrap around here. And do the same the other side. So pull down, press the button in, feed the strap through it, pull it tight, excess strap round the back, loop itself through just as added security, and then you've got this nice little feature where you can then hide off all the roof, which stops the draft coming in from the pop top. So to operate the double cab spinning seat, which is on a swivel base, you need to remove this, which is just on 4 magnets, and pop it in the back. And then you need to unscrew these like so and pop them into here. So there's 3. Remove your head restraint by pulling the roof back. You'll get more room to press the buttons and lift the head restraints off. And then what you need to do is open the cab door, put the vehicle into gear and drop the handbrake, and then it spins this way. So you've got to push it forward first. So pull it forward. Turn the seat around. Like so. And then make sure that when you turn it back round, you lock it into place before you do start travelling. But there you have an extra seat, and be careful with the seatbelt. Leave enough room with the seatbelt for it to go around the back of the seat without tensioning. So now in the cab, so on the door you've got electric driver and passenger window, and then you've got your adjustment, so you can go left or right for your adjustment of your main big mirrors. Your little mirrors, being the blind spot ones, are hand adjustable, so you just got to move them with your hands out the window. And then these are power folding, with it being the so what you do is pull them back and they'll fold. So with it being a newer range of Transit, it's got a bit of extras on, being the better spec. So they fold in by pushing forward and then pull back again, and you can fold them back. So if you need to get through tight space, you can fold your windows in. Locks and unlocks the doors on the van. With it being a van conversion, it locks everything on a night, so just hit that button. Dims and brightens the brightness of the clocks when the lights are on, so you can have them on auto. Just leave them on automatic, and you've got your headlight adjustment, front and rear fog lights, cup holders, USB and 12 volt there. This will go through the screen here, so you can go, digital speedo, start, stop, how many seat belts are fastened, your trip computer 1, press and hold to reset, average fuel usage 20.6 mpg, distance to empty 72 mile, average fuel usage 0.1 gallon, and your speedo. And then if you go to this one here, you can go to driver assistance and make sure that your hill hold assist is on. You can reset trip computer 1. You can go your maintenance, view your oil life, your AdBlue, and your AdBlue level. So the minimum refill this is going to take is 5 litres. The maximum is going to take is 7.6 to fill that AdBlue tank. And then as you can see there, there's a scale, so you're above half a tank of AdBlue. This side, you've got your cruise control being the top, and you go up and down to set once you're at the speed you want to be at. If you need to cancel the cruise control, you can press this one here and resume it by pressing the middle one. And then you've got limiter here So you can go up and down, hold to go up in 5s, up and down slowly goes up in 1s. And you can limit it, so if you're in a 50-mile-an-hour zone, you can limit it, average speed cameras, so that you don't go over it. And then when you cancel it, you can then accelerate. Volume mute, voice command,
Phone voice assistant requires a connected phone.
answer decline, and you can skip your radio channels tracks through there. Here you've got some switches, so you've got traction control off, you've got mode which goes between eco and normal, so I would leave it in normal. It'll come up here, normal. Get to the speed you want to be at, say you're going on the motorway. Once you're happy, then knock it into eco, which will bring on this one. And what that'll do is it'll save some fuel usage. So over the year, if you keep doing that, it'll save you some money by using less diesel. And then you can turn, should you want to turn your sensors off, you can turn them off, but you don't really need to do that. Your sensors will just kick in and out. Fan on and off here. Screen, face, feet, heated mirrors, recirculation, aircon, heated screen, temperature. Max in the winter on hot for the screen, and then max AC, and that'll turn the fan on. Heated seats, so you've got 3 settings, obviously all 3 lights being the hottest setting. You can turn them down, and that is for the driver's seat and the outer passenger seat. So this seat isn't heated, it's that one that's heated. But then when you turn this seat, so you can lift this forward, you need to disconnect this here before you turn. That just lifts out, so that you don't snap any wires in the loom, and then that'll just go back on here like so, and it'll put your seatbelt warning back on and your heated seat. Hazards, USB and another 12 volt. Glove box which is lockable, that's the tow bar, the bag for your tow bar. As this customer's had the tow bar fitted, they don't come standard with tow bars. And then to operate your sync head unit, so you turn on and off here. So you've got audio, which is your radio. You can sources, AM, FM, DAB or Bluetooth if you connect your phone, and you just press and hold to save your radio stations. You can view them here by pressing stations, Tyne and Wear, so you can go Tyne and Wear, scroll through them, back, national, and then you've got your BBC stations, and you can press and hold to save, and that'll preset them. And there's your radio working. You can turn your traffic TA announcement on and off. Phone, add a phone.
Search for Ford Transit on your device,
so you
and
want
select Ford Transit once it is found.
So you want to do what you see and search for your Ford Transit on your phone. Click on it once it's found. It'll come up pair on your phone, pair on here, then it'll ask if you want to download your contacts. Just press allow, and that will save your phone book in here, so you can scroll through your contacts, or whoever rings you when you're out driving, it'll come up with a name if they're saved. Mobile apps, so it does take Apple CarPlay, Android Auto by connecting either here or here, and then you can put Google Maps, Apple Maps, Waves, whatever you want to use through the head unit. And then you've got your settings. Volume, sound settings, turns the screen off if you want the screen off, but it'll still keep the radio on, and then you can tune it that way as well. And then finally you do have start stop button, you can turn on and off. Obviously start stop will only work if the engine's got enough charge in it and the aircon's not on. If it's not working, sometimes it just needs a good run out to replenish the charge if it's been sat around. But if you don't want it on, you can just simply turn it off by pressing this button here.